So,
Hi,
hey.
Welcome back to our kitchen. We are finally to the point where we have all our cabinets in, and John, do you want to show them
Okay. Yeah, well, it's
no
quite
doors.
it's quite messy now, but yeah, there are no doors up yet, and the shelves are out right now. We've cut the shelves, but we haven't put the veneers on the front edge of the plywood. But this is going to be the pantry section over here and up there, and then down here we're supposed to have the countertops in about 2 weeks, something like that.
Maybe a week. They're coming tomorrow to do the template.
Okay,
so
okay.
They'll be ready in a week.
Well, that would be great.
Yeah.
And the microwave goes right up here. And right now, what we're wanting to show you today is what we're planning on doing on the finish on these. First we stained these cabinets.
Yeah, we did. So in case somebody wants to know, we did it with Provincial Minwax stain. It was our first layer, and then I used Fusion mineral paint in raw silk, and I painted 2 coats of that on because even though we're sanding some off, one coat just looked way too thin. You could see too much of the stain. And so now I'm just going through with an orbital sander and, what is this, 220 paper?
It is 220.
220, yes. And just sanding some of it off. I've got a few spots that I think it took a little more than I wanted to do. This would take forever to do by hand, so I don't want to do the whole thing by hand. But I probably should be a little more gentle in some spots and do those spots by hand because, like right here, I didn't mean to take that much off. So I'm going to just take my finger back in the paint and go back over that a couple times, and then maybe try to sand again by hand to get through just a little bit, but I don't want that much.
Okay, I'm going to give a closer view of what we're doing. This is where the refrigerator goes, and I'm going to give you a close-up look so you can see what we're going with. And this is before we do a glaze, right?
Yeah, we've glazed this section over here. The typical way that I have always antiqued things, I would stain the piece, paint it, sand it so you could see some of the stain, and then I would stain it over it again to give an antique look on top of the paint. But the stain you can't control as much, and especially with doing something that's so white, I didn't want to make it look brown. So I'm going with glaze this time, and I'm using Paint Couture Van Dyke Brown. That's the color of glaze that I'm using. Fusion Mineral Paint makes a glaze too, and their chocolate brown is almost identical to the Van Dyke, but I already had some Van Dyke, and so I'm just going with that. I have no interest in Fusion, so I'm not telling you that to make money or anything like that. I just went to a store and bought it. I don't have any kind of kickback for telling you about that, but just in case you want to do what I'm doing, that's why I'm telling you the colors. But the glaze is more controllable than using stains, so I can put the glaze on, and then you take a wet rag and wipe some of it off, and some will still stay. So it gives it a very, very slight antiqued look on top.
Or you can go darker if that's what you want.
Right, if you want it to be darker, you just leave more on there.
Right.
I just don't want so much on mine, but I want it to get somewhat in the cracks of the beadboard, you know, and to not make it stark white on this. They had a lot of different colors of whites to choose from, and it was very difficult to choose. But some of the others were like bright white or really yellow, and I wanted it to be somewhere in the middle, so that's why I chose raw silk. I think it is a good choice of somewhere in the middle. So.
Okay. And also in the future, we're going to do more videos as we go through and progress through these cabinets, from after we do the countertops to the under cabinet lighting as well as the doors.
Yeah, I'm probably going to do tile. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, as far as the backsplash, we hate covering up these really old boards. This house, if anyone's watched previous videos, it's really, really old. Has these old beams and all this up here, and I don't know. We don't want to cover up the character. It's right down here with what we're doing. No, we don't want to cover up the character under here, but there's also a practical level too of cleanability and those kind of things. So we're battling between those.
Yeah. When we moved in, this was just caked with grease. It was disgusting, and I got as much as I could off. But I mean, you can see there's boards here that are blackened. They probably had some kind of oven fire because the oven was right here. And I can't even talk now. I have so much sawdust in my throat. Like I'm hoarse. But they're uneven. So you've got this little bit here, and then you've got this really wide board here. And I don't know how that's going to look to put tile in between. That might look weird. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, but if we cover it with a concrete fiber board, we can all get it all level and even and go that
And
way.
just put the tile on top of that.
Or,
We could concrete between it, or mortar, whatever you want to say.
right, yeah.
Because the rest of our walls are all this way, and they actually have mortar between it, and it looks pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
So we really don't know. But if we do that, we need to do a granite backsplash. So we have to decide by tomorrow. I wish I could get this video up in time for people to give me opinions. But probably only 6 people will watch it before, if anyone watches, before we have to make a decision. Because, yeah, with the granite coming right back up here, that's too messy. And like here, this didn't even meet, so it's filled with great stuff, so nice, and spider skin and stuff like that.
So we probably should cover it with something either.
So something has to go here.
Right, but the granite backsplash would cover that, so.
Yeah. But if we don't do mortar, I don't want a granite backsplash.
Right, exactly.
Oh, I hate decisions. I really hate decisions. So I did good just deciding this paint color.
Well, anyway, while we
And
think...
this is going to be different. This is going to be red.
Oh, yeah.
Sink base red.
And we're also going to put some more decorative molding down around this and make it more of an accent piece. That's not entirely done. I need to get that done.
And I may do my windows weird. I may antique them, or I may just paint them this white color and not antique it at all.
As well as the trim. We were going to trim it kind of like we did this window over here. We put this decorative molding and around it with like the little medallion things or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, just got them from Lowe's.
Yeah, and it looks really good.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's pretty much it. Check out
I'll
our...
show you how to sand it.
Oh yes, absolutely.
And then
Let's
we'll
do
turn it
that.
off, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will hopefully keep updating our videos, though we're a bit behind. Many weeks have passed since the last one.
That's true.
It's taken a lot longer than we thought, and when you're in the middle of a project, you really don't want to stop to video it. You just want to keep working.
Yeah, we probably should, but you just end up too busy.
Yeah, but anyway, thanks for watching, if you are. And my cord, I can't reach my hand. I'll show you how I sand it. It's pretty simple. The beadboard takes the longest because you have to sand a good bit on that to actually get it to take some cleaner. But anyway, this is pretty simple. This is where I should be taking a hand sander.
Oh, there's a block right here.
Yeah, but I wanted that old piece of sandpaper that I had folded in half. Did somebody throw it away?
Yeah. Okay.
Just because it's a little better grip than this. This will take forever. But I want a few spots to shine through, like this up here, but not as much as I did here.
Yeah, it's a little more than what we're wanting there.
That's where hand sanding will do it a little bit better. See, that's much better. Just a little bit. And just do it here and there and try not to make it too even. See, I really should not do what I was doing. Sometimes you have to put a little more pressure to get more off the sides, and so you kind of tilt it a little bit. And what I was doing, you can tell on the ragged sandpaper, was pushing on the edge to get it, but sometimes that causes you to get off way more than you meant to. So I think I'm going to quit doing that and just use the sandpaper to get that. And we're trying to hurry and get done because we've got 2 hours and it's the Christmas parade, which our kids don't know about. So we've told them to get dressed. We're doing something fun. So We'll see. Maybe we can get done with everything in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
More like in 2 weeks.
Well, no. By tomorrow night, by Friday night, it's gonna be done.
Sounds good.
Not cleaned up, but done.
Yeah.
Glazed. I'll glazed.
Right.
And then I'm probably gonna put polyacrylic over the top.
Yep.
Since this paint is good enough, I said you don't have to get anything over it and you paint your kitchen cabinet solid
This
with
is what we're planning on putting over it.
But since I'm antiquing mine and taking it back down to raw wood, just being in a kitchen, protecting it from water, I need to put something back over it. But polyurethane can often yellow and crack, and polyacrylic doesn't. So I'm going to go with polyacrylic, and I think it's satin, clear satin, so it won't have too much gloss. Because obviously, on a cabinet that's supposed to look old, you don't want gloss. So.
And I already put it over the front because I need to do the veneers on everything else. But on the front of this, you put veneer edges over the plywood so you don't see that, and it looks good on that. It matches with everything else. So I just have it taped off here for the painting. But anyway, that's pretty much the same type of thing. We're going to do it on all the drawer fronts as well, the same way. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Anything else, Dad?
Nope. Stay tuned for more.
All right.